Oh man, so Polkadot is up around 18% after finally announcing their auction timeline for the Parachains. Okay, this is a really important catalyst for Polkadot, and I know a lot of people aren't going into detail explaining what these Parachains are, why it's important, what it means for Polkadot, and more importantly, where else could you invest other than Polkadot that will move in solidarity with Polkadot. We're going to cover all that in this video, but if you like this type of content, then please hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll get straight into it. So let's head straight over to Polkadot, and you'll see Polkadot is currently up 18%, sitting on a market cap of 40 billion. So that's really getting close to the 7th spot, where Solana is sitting comfortably at $45 billion. Now, what is Polkadot? If you haven't seen my previous video, which I've uploaded, I'll link that up here. That will give you a technical analysis of Polkadot, where the price is now, and where I think it can go from a technical basis. Now, from a fundamental viewpoint, I want you guys to take this video in conjunction with that video to help build your conviction around Polkadot. So the first thing we want to understand is, what is Polkadot? Well, Polkadot is trying to create a connected blockchain of blockchains, right? So they want to create a hub and spoke model where they build the central blockchain, and then you build what are a bunch of parachains around the side of them. So this was founded by Gavin Wood back in 2017. A lot of you guys may be familiar with Gavin Wood, but he was the original CTO and one of the founders of Ethereum with Vitalik Buterin and Charles Hodgkinson at the time, who went on to do Cardano. And he then left the project to build Polkadot back in 2017. And his vision was to do exactly that. A connected set of, let's say, 100 plus blockchains, all operating off of the hub that is the central Polkadot hub. And we'll come onto a diagram very shortly. Now, in essence, what Gavin Wood was, he built the original Ethereum virtual machine. You've probably heard of this, EVM. And he also was fundamental in building out the original programming language that Ethereum still uses today for its smart contracts, and that's called Solidity. So I don't need to, stress the point that Gavin Wood knows what he's talking about, and he reminds me, of Charles Hodgkinson. They're of this original crew that, have this real heritage in the crypto community to be doing this years and years ago. I mean, we know the crypto space is young, but they're really, long in the tooth as far as crypto is concerned, and they have real pedigree in that space. So they carry a lot of credibility with them. Now, we'll also know, if I share my screen with you, you'll also see that you have Kasama. Now, Kasama is Polkadot's cousin, okay? Now, let's just go back a second. So what you can see here is you can see the original Polkadot network, and then you see all of these little gray squares around the edge. These are what they are referring to when they say parachains. Now, in essence, all of these are their very own blockchain. So imagine you wanting to start a blockchain right now. The normal process is for you to run an ICO, right? So you run an ICO, you launch it, you give out tokens, and the community will give you money to then go away and develop and build your blockchain, right? Because it takes a lot of work. You have to build the foundations of the network, build the security, build all the layers on top, build the community at the same time. It's very difficult. Now, the problem with that original ICO model, which is how, people invest into new blockchains right now today, is you have no accountability. You send your money. So if I wanted to invest in an upcoming ICO, I'll invest my money. The team gets the money and they can do what they want with it, right? I've never seen that crypto again. They get it and they can invest it. They can choose to be a scam. They can be a rug pull. They can go away and not make any progress and kind of just chill for many years. And people get burnt, right? And this is one of the reasons why Gary Gensler and the government are trying to get involved in a whole bunch of regulation. But really, what Gavin Wood is saying is we can solve this through game theory, through intellect, through building incentives. And that's what this blockchain technology is all about. And this is what I love about this project. Now, with this methodology, where you have to participate in what is called a slot auction, which ties into yesterday's announcement, with this, you have to take a slot auction to take one of the parachain slots on the Polkadot network. And what that means is if you, let's say, have a great project and you want to launch, you can bid to take this slot here, okay? And if you take this slot here, which I'm pointing to, you will get to be one of the first on the Polkadot network. And what that means is you can then benefit from the whole community. So think about it. All of these blockchains, by just building on Polkadot, automatically get embedded and interoperable with each other, right? So anything built on each of these can quickly build out a community. So you can imagine the network effects this is creating. It will really help you as a blockchain creator to be a parachain, right? Because you're going to get the wisdom of crowds, you're going to get the law of large numbers, you're going to get the network effect and the virality of being connected with all these other amazing parachains. And that's what's powerful here. And that's the beauty of what Polkadot is building here. But on top of that, you've got the accountability, because when you invest in a parachain, if you want to tie up some tokens, and it'll be DOT tokens, by the way, so that's why we're seeing a demand for DOT tokens. But if you want to tie up some of your DOT tokens to vote for one of these parachains to get a slot, they will not access that money. It'll be sat in the relay chain on Polkadot, which again helps protect you from scams. It helps protect you, making sure that the team actually go away and build a great project. And that's what's important here. So, what is Kasama then? Because Kasama is actually the cousin project of Polkadot. So Kasama is almost like, if you've heard the saying canary in a coal mine, back in the day before you sent miners to go mine for coal, you would send a canary, right, into the coal mine. And if the canary came out okay, it meant it was a safe environment for the miners to go in and start mining, right? There wasn't any risk of pollution. Now, in this instance, Kasama is exactly that. It's almost like a cousin sort of canary network where blockchain developers can go build their blockchains. Again, you have to go through the auction process, but you can build on there, knowing that you can then bridge across, once you're happy, over to the original Polkadot network. So it's almost like a vetting procedure. Make sure you're happy. You can have more chaos here, more experiments, more innovation, and then once you graduate, you can move it over to Polkadot, which is going to be their more mature, they can't afford any risks on the Polkadot network, right? You can take risks on the Kasama network. Once things get to Polkadot network, you've got to be of a certain standard. So very smart with what Gavin Wood and the team are doing over there. So that explains what the two are. Now, what's all the hype about this announcement? Well, the announcement finally means that it's been voted that the auctions will take place. Okay, so we got a tweet from the Polkadot team, and these batch of auctions have already been assigned. So we've got the dates starting from November 11th, leading up to the end of December. The first 5 parachains will go into auction. Now, remember, when this happened, we're going to get more DOT staked, more demand for DOT as people are voting for these slot spaces. And then eventually, once the winners have been assigned, all of them will go live on Polkadot at the same time, beginning December 17th. So it's amazing that we finally got a timeline, a roadmap for when these slot auctions will take place, because Gavin Wood's been speaking about it for 5 years, and this is a monumental moment, similar to the Alonso hard fork for Cardano. Hodgkinson promised us this come in, he was doing it in a methodical way, and finally we have it, right? And it's the same thing here with Gavin Wood. He made the promises and he's delivered. And that's why these two coins are really, OGs in the network. These aren't small coins which have just spun up and suddenly come into power. These are people who have been there, done that with Ethereum, gone away, taken their time to build something they think will be here for a very, very, very long time. And that's the difference here. They're not trying to create a quick buck. They're trying to build something that's going to last and have legacy. So the way it'll work is teams will then bid in an auction, okay, to win a slot on the blockchain or parachain. And the slot leases on Kusama last 48 weeks. On DOT, we've had news that they're going to last 96 weeks, okay? And what the auction then means is you have skin in the game. It reduces the scams and you get community token distribution as well. So it's a very strong movement for Polkadot and the ecosystem around. Now, let's now take a look at some of the amazing projects which I think we should be looking at in the Polkadot ecosystem. So again, you really don't want to be chasing DOT right now. It's been on a pump. From a technical basis, go see that video, but you want to see it kind of cool off to some of the support levels if you haven't built a position just yet. Don't chase it right now. Obviously, if you've been in it for a long time like I have and you followed my portfolio allocation in my portfolio video, then you just continue to hold and buy on the dips and keep accumulating, right? If you believe in this for a long time. But the other smart tactic is to start to look for projects which are going to move in solidarity. And I've got some top projects here. I've got 4 top projects here which I think have great potential to move with Polkadot in correlation with Polkadot as Polkadot continues to do well with this auction. And the first one is one we've already spoken about, and that is Kusama. We've already spoken about it It is the canary network. It's their innovative cousin. And as Polkadot continues to gain attention, you will see Kasama doing the same. And you can see it's exactly up 17%, about the same amount as Polkadot. And this is the obvious choice to be getting into as a cousin network to Polkadot. But look at the market cap, guys. This is only $3 billion. Polkadot's at $40 billion, right? Solana's at $45 billion. So this one is good, can move at greater velocity than Polkadot, because it's a smaller project, right? So that is Kasama. And again, you can head over to the Kasama website. We've pretty much explained it in detail. It's the same thing. It's Parachains with auctions. You have your KSM token, and it's the same concept where people bid for slot allocations and they get to build on the cousin network for Polkadot. Once the project has graduated, it's quite mature in its state, then you can also bridge across to the Polkadot network. But you don't have to. You can forever be on the Kasama network as well if that's how you are inclined. So the first one we want to be looking at is Kasama. The next one you want to be looking at, which is also moving in solidarity, and you can see it's up 10%, but not as much as Polkadot, and this is at more of an attractive buy zone. If you look at the charts again, go check out that video. You will see it's Chainlink, and again, we've covered Chainlink again. It's one of my core positions in my portfolio, and I will always continue to add to Chainlink because I think it's one of those that are here to stay. And Chainlink is a decentralized oracle for the blockchain community, okay? So what Chainlink does is it brings in data feeds. And why is that important? Well, if you're a dApp builder and you're building a smart contract, you need data to feed into your smart contracts, okay? Let's say, for example, you're building a basic smart contract that says, if the price of BTC hits $100,000, I'm going to send Ijaz 1 Bitcoin, right? If you wanted to run that contract, you need a price feed to come into your smart contract because your smart contract has to keep checking the BTC price till it triggers the $100,000, right? And then you can pay me. But in order to get that price data, you need a data oracle. And Chainlink are by far the best and the longest serving data oracle in the blockchain space. And amazingly, they partnered with Polkadot in December. Okay, so in December last year, they announced a partnership with Polkadot that they were going to go ahead and integrate with the Polkadot network. And they did so successfully. And what that would then mean is because Polkadot has integrated with Chainlink, all of these parachains can feed that smart contract data, the data sources, the oracle data, the price of Bitcoin in this example, through to their parachains. And they can all use it, which is going to be a massive momentum booster for Chainlink and can really help Chainlink head higher and higher. So please go check out Chainlink. Definitely something that is a strong project with good pedigree and has been around for a very long time. This is not a small project that has started up yesterday. It's been around for a long time and it's very strong with a strong team backing it. Okay, so that's Chainlink. Now, the next one I want to share with you guys is a little bit less obvious, and that is Ren. So Ren is sitting at a market cap of 1 billion, 1/40th of Polkadot. This is a really small project, but again, these are the small projects which if you have a small allocation to and you're smart with your portfolio, can really start to move. So Ren is up 6%. Again, you can see not as far up as Polkadot, right, at 18%, because people aren't as aware of this one as they were with Kasama. Kasama is an obvious relationship. Link is a bit more of a less obvious relationship, and Ren is less of one. Now, Ren is a blockchain protocol designed to provide liquidity between separate blockchains. So that's what they specialize in, moving Bitcoin, moving Ethereum between different blockchains. Is this ringing any bells? Yes, because that's what Polkadot's doing, right? Lots of different blockchains in their ecosystem. How do we move Bitcoin? How do we move Polkadot? How do we move Kasama coins? How do we move different coins interoperable between these blockchains? And that's where Ren comes into it. And Ren collaborated with Polkadot back in July 2020. So they've got an official partnership. They actually work with Akala to bring Bitcoin to the DOT ecosystem already. So they've gone ahead, done some of the work, and Ren is another project which I think should be on your radar for you to be looking at. Okay, so that's Ren, liquidity unchained. They're bringing liquidity interoperable between different blockchains. Okay, are you ready for the last one? Because the last one is one even less known, and that is Seller Network. So Seller Network is under $1 billion market cap, 800 million in market cap, a very small project. And again, the smaller the project, the more velocity it has, the quicker it can move. But again, the riskier it can be. So you got to allocate really, really small parts of your portfolios, but it can move just as high, right? So I would have nowhere near as much in Seller Network as I would have in Polkadot. And you can see as the projects become smaller, more riskier, I'll obviously allocate less, but it can move much more. Okay, so your risk is there nonetheless. So Seller, you can see, has moved up only 4%, and Seller is a layer 2 scaling platform designed to help users build and operate dApps on the Polkadot system. And again, they partnered with Polkadot back in January 2019. So you can see Seller's been doing pretty well this year, and you can very simply build this layer 1 platform. And again, what is a layer 2 solution? We've covered this in numerous videos. It's creating that layer on top of your original blockchain layer that brings speed to the network, right? You can transact on the layer 2, and then you can drop the receipts down to layer 1, okay? Helping the system become faster, more efficient, low cost, and that's interoperable as well. So that's the other one I want you guys to look at. So there you have it, guys. Those are the projects we want to be looking at in the Polkadot ecosystem. So as Polkadot starts to move, it's going to become more and more difficult to build out your positions. But putting a smart amount, let's say you've got your whole portfolio in your head, you know how much you want to assign to Polkadot. It would be a wise move to take that portion of what you want to assign to Polkadot, carve out a little piece, and spread out some of those in some of the plays that you think can move really fast in the Polkadot ecosystem. Because naturally, if Polkadot's doing well, Kasama's going to do well, Link is going to do well, Ren is going to do well, Seller Network's going to do well, and there's various others as well. The other thing, which again, guys, if you want me, this video is already at 16 minutes, but again, if you want me to make a separate video on this, the other thing I'm going to be looking at right now is what platforms have the best chance of winning some of these slot auctions. If we can find which platforms are very likely to win some of these slot auctions, we can be buying those cheaply now. And in the run up to those slot auctions, not only will their price move anyway, because people are going to think they're going to win the slot auction, and then you can trade out of that if you felt like, but if they win the slot auction, then you're really in a good position. So the kind of things I'm looking at there are things like Akala, Pokedex, and I want to share a separate video on that, guys. So if you want to see that kind of video, please hit comment below, hit the like button, subscribe, so I know this video is getting attention, and then I can go ahead and make a video on which platforms, which projects I think have the best opportunity to win these slot auctions in December. But there you have it, guys. Dot's making a good move, Chainlink's making a good move. I've given you some great projects which I think can move in solidarity. Hopefully this video helped you understand more about what's going on with these parachains, because I know a whole bunch of people out there were not actually telling us. They were like, oh, Dot is up 20% because they've started their parachains. Yeah, but what is it, right? Hopefully you now understand what a parachain is, why it's important, why it's effective, and why Polkadot is a solid project which I've been saying should be in your portfolio from day one. And again, if you've not watched my video on portfolio allocation, go check it out. I think it'll give you a good understanding, particularly if you're a beginner, on how to set out your crypto portfolio. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. As always, please hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.